These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
All right, episode 25. Look at us cruising along, Skippy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New Year to you as well. One question. Did the kids stay up?
I don't know. None of them are here.
Oh, okay.
I know my daughter did.
Oh,
She
all right.
didn't wake up until like 1:30 the next day when I got a text from her because I was supposed to wake up in Kalamazoo. It sounds like Angie called her kids yesterday, and it sounds like they were up until 1. So Angie and I were in bed at 10:30.
Didn't even watch the great football game?
No,
Oh,
I was pretty much footballed out at that point, Skippy. I think you understand.
yeah, I get it, but still.
It was a struggle to put the Lions on yesterday because I couldn't handle any more disappointment.
The Lions were on yesterday?
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't even watch it. I didn't watch NFL. I was too footballed out from the two games I did watch.
They played the Bears. They won 41-14 or something like that.
Okay, so they're 8-8.
Yeah, unfortunately they need more help than I would care for going into the last
Don't they? Hold on. Don't they just need Seattle to lose and they need to beat Green
That's the
Bay
problem.
in Lambeau?
Yeah, I think they will beat Green Bay, and that game is before the Seattle game. So both those, Green Bay doesn't need help. They just have to win, and they're in.
Yeah.
So if Green Bay wins, they're in. If the Lions need to win, and the Rams need to beat Seattle, which
would screw up our draft pick.
yeah,
So it's like, damn, we get screwed either way.
I haven't looked to see if it will actually drop them or not in the draft order, but
well, they went from when the Rams beat.
Love you too. Enjoy your yoga.
Okay, bye.
I love you.
You too.
When the Rams beat Denver,
Yeah.
when they just throttled them, that dropped the Lions pick from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
So
I think they're hovering around. Last I saw was still 5, but but yeah, they Seattle played the Jets last night, and that was, I think, the better shot at us.
Yeah, I watched some sports thing this morning about I don't know what show it was from, but showing basically the percentage chance that which team to get to where they need to be, and both the Lions and I think Seattle were at like a 12 to 14% chance, and Green Bay was like 68%.
Well, yeah, and I get it because Lions are playing them in Lambeau, and the Packers are playing pretty good right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so are the Lions. So we'll see. I look forward to watching the game. I do not expect them to make the playoffs. So I have,
Nice.
With Michigan basketball being the horrendous crap show that it is this year, I have nothing to root for until baseball rolls around, and then I can root for the Tigers for about a month until they're out of playoff contention. And
I mean, yeah, good point.
and then we'll be back to spring training or summer practices for football. So yeah.
Just downhill from there.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
Oh, you should have stayed up and watched the game though.
I'm very happy that I woke up to find out that Ohio State lost and they missed a last second kick as the ball dropped to lose the game. So,
Oh, they didn't just miss it.
well, I know I saw it. It was
Because because my wife was watching too. I had to flip to the ball drop, and then I flipped right back, and I see 3 seconds left. I'm like, did he miss it? He missed it. Holy crap, he missed it. They
I
deserve
could have had a better shot at making that thing than what it looked like he did, but
they deserved to lose that game. I mean, they were up the whole game, and it went downhill from there. Anyway, enough about football.
I will say this: I'm not blaming the refs, although those two calls were absolutely horrendous and they shouldn't have been the way they were. Michigan never should have been in a position for that to matter. So
The touchdown I didn't watch it live. I watched the replays. I'm like, I don't understand how that wasn't a touchdown.
Because the rules are different in college. So there's no down by contact in college.
So as soon as his butt touched, he was down.
Yes. But I don't think it was conclusive enough to tell where the ball was at the second his knee or butt or whatever touched.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so close that, and that's the thing, to overturn it, you have to be, I mean, it's a jury of your peers, you know, they're beyond a shadow of a doubt that
It's going to be conclusive.
yeah. So I think that one was bullshit. And I think the targeting, I don't know how that didn't end up targeting. I don't think it would have mattered. Giving Michigan an extra 25 seconds from there. I don't know. I'm not going to say define the game, but that was a targeting call, 100%.
I think he hit him more with his face mask though, versus his crown of his helmet.
He still lowered his helmet into the back of somebody else's helmet.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rule's there to prevent people from getting hurt. And that's a play where there's a higher chance of one.
Yeah,
if not two people getting
he
hurt.
should have got hurt. I mean, he probably did get hurt, but
Yeah. So
Ohio State,
anyways,
Ohio State had one too. I don't know if you saw that. That
Who did?
in the end zone.
what?
I said Ohio State had one too that wasn't called,
I saw that one too.
and that one looked sicker than, or like harsher than the other one.
But all in all, it was an okay season from a very young team for Michigan, and next year should only be better. So
Well, JJ's gone.
no, he's not.
He's a senior this year, isn't he?
He's a sophomore.
Oh. I saw his dad try to cop a field to his girlfriend. They've
Andy told me about that the next morning. She's like, "Did you see this?" No,
I saw many a
didn't.
video.
I was like, "Oh yes, that's a very deliberate finger drag across."
Oh,
I said,
yes.
Good thing she had her phone in her pocket. But she's since the game, she's been social Instagram famous nearly.
Oh yes, she probably will be too.
So she was over like 13,000 followers for someone that no one knew her name 2 days ago.
I like, it's like Machka, something like that. It's a weird name.
But yeah, I mean, JJ's 19. She's so 19, 18, 20, somewhere in that area. They were high school sweethearts. So
All right, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I thought they said he was a senior, but
no,
okay.
he is a sophomore. Most of that team is returning. So
Well, that'll be all right.
last year they lost 10 of 22 starters. So it was lower expectations this year, which is interesting. So
Michigan State will be back in the bowl contention next year.
are you sure?
Nope.
Tuck's coming?
I sent him a message. He still hasn't responded yet. he's on his way somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he's got lots of money now, so he can go anywhere he wants. Sorry, everybody, for sports talk. Next, we'll be breaking down golf.
Oh boy.
I mean, I could, but I mean, want to put people to sleep. Yeah, so it was, I mean, week between Christmas and New Year's. Neither of us, did you work? Did you do a
Nope.
day? I didn't
I
think so.
had
don't
a
remember if you
Christmas
did
Eve
one day
thing,
or
but
not.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, neither of us really worked. We were both doing secretarial work and admin
Oh
stuff
yeah.
most of the week. Skippy and I both realized how far behind we were. I think I was worse off than you still, but
No, because the spreadsheet that you gave, that you were nice enough to give me, I lost, and so I had to find a new one or create a new one, and luckily I found one, but it was I had to start all over. So I started in January.
yeah, I still have some work to do on mine. Just getting my formulas in for end of year numbers. I have all my end of month numbers. And there was some surprises for me. So all in all, we ended up about 5% profit. And that's with me being on payroll.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot more bills than you, Skippy.
I keep forgetting that one big one, but that's gone here shortly, right?
Yeah, whenever they end up pulling, I'm gonna guess tomorrow because it's two different two different banks hold it or whatever. So
Yeah.
part of it will come tomorrow, and then I'm guessing probably the 5th is usually when the other one happens. So for the holiday weekend, but yeah, that one will be gone. But yeah, I mean, labor is a big one. But anyways, so yeah, at the beginning of the year, I had, I set my projections and everything for expenses and all that, and for my disposables, and I categorized that kind of as a lump of everything I would get from GFS Costco. So all our styrofoam, all our paper products, all our meat,
See, that's
anything we're buying on a regular basis.
that's what I did.
Yeah. So I had it projected at $127,000.
Jeez.
I planned a
Yeah,
little bit.
You go more than me.
Yeah. Well, so our total sales number, we projected at 362,000. We ended up at 310.
Okay.
So we were a little bit short of where we wanted to, and I was hoping for more on the catering end for us this year. We equaled our 2021 number. I was really hoping that we were going to double it. I'm not sure. We had more events. They were just smaller.
Yeah.
So we had more catered events. They were just smaller numbers. And I don't know if it's hard to tell. I mean, were the events bigger in 21 because we were getting through COVID and people were having bigger parties, just because they hadn't seen people?
Yeah.
So it was last year more the normal size we can expect for weddings. I mean, we had 2 weddings in 21 that were 300 people. A lot of them that were over 200. And this last year, most of them were 100 to 150. So I'm going to guess that's going to be more the normal size. So anyways, yeah, so I had planned on 127. We were under that. I beat my monthly projections almost every month except for one. So I think we were right around 115-ish thousand for everything.
Not bad.
Not bad. We made up for it though. So I spent about $18,000 in fuel between gasoline, diesel, and propane. Where that projection was at 8,000.
So I was to talk about fuel cost, I was $3,000 under you.
Yeah.
15.5 for me. But I also traveled a lot more. I went to my radius it was like an hour away from my house.
Right.
So there was multiple days per week that I was traveling, hour there, hour back.
Yep. So a lot of ours was the generator switch. Us switching from propane to gasoline. And it's very clear. You can see the date or almost the time in the spreadsheet when it happened. Yeah, propane's a heck of a lot cheaper than gasoline was most of the year. And frickin' diesel, filling my tank $100 every day or every other day. Starts to really add up. So that was the biggest jump we had in pricing was fuel.
Yeah.
Disposable stuff. I mean, prices went up, but I hate to say
disposable prices went up, but meat cost
overreacted a little bit to that.
Yeah.
There was a handful of things that really jumped. Aluminum foil was one of them. Wire racks, like the disposable wire racks.
2-pack for $8 now.
Yeah, I'm like, what the yeah, that one was weird. So there was a couple weird ones that were but like styrofoam containers, yeah, they went up like $1 a pack, but you're getting 100, it's like it's a minimal per unit cost. And I know it all adds up and whatever, but it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be this year, which is good. Hopefully we start seeing some correction. But other than that, everything else was pretty much right where we thought it was going to be. So that was 5% with me being on payroll for most of the year, from March through October. And then I kick myself back off in the off months. So Yeah, total labor cost for me was right around 100,000. Not for me, but for the truck.
Yeah.
So, and that includes payroll taxes and liability and workman's comp and all that other stuff. So,
Do you have Square do that for you?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So they do all the payments, all the tax payments on that. Literally, I just set it up and it's an online. You do it right through Square. It's like an I-9.
Yeah.
Go through it with the employees. They put in their direct deposit information, and it's done. You just have to hit payroll, and now they can do 2-day payroll runs. So, for a Friday pay, it just has to be in by Wednesday at 11 p.m.
Hmm.
And it takes me about 2 minutes to run payroll if everybody clocked out like they were supposed to, and I don't have to fix anything. But yeah, it separates all the tips automatically. So we have it as an equal split for whoever's clocked in when that tip was gained.
Yeah.
So it does all that for you. It does a really good job. And it's all within Square. And it's nice having everything in one ecosystem.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, people talking about QuickBooks and they're like, yep, I can use QuickBooks to do my payroll. I was like, well, if you're using Square, why don't you just have Square do your payroll? You know?
Yeah, that's one less thing you have to move over.
So yeah, that was pretty much my year. I definitely need to see a good bump, both in sales and our sales to disposable ratio. Definitely need to see some improvement, but really in 2021, our disposable cost was pretty much the same as 2022 with $30,000 less in sales. So that's good.
What was your best month?
Sales wise,
Yeah.
I believe June. Let me pull it up here real quick. I thought I had it up already. Hold on a second.
So as you're doing that, I'll go over my numbers.
Okay.
So I finished with about 30% without myself on payroll. My revenue, my gross sales were 189, call it 189.5. And then my cost of goods sold ended up being about almost 57,000. So after expenses, which I had a lot of equipment expenses, a lot, like $22,000 worth. My truck payments in here, fuel 15,000. I mean, going through these numbers is just once I got done entering everything in, it was crazy. But basically, so I ended up with about 55,000 in net ish. I don't have any mileage or anything in here. I know I can do that on there, but other than that, I mean, I could probably write it down to a little bit more, but for, I guess, a first year, I'm quite happy with that.
So our best month was May, actually, at just under 45,000. So I had 3 months, May, June, and August, that were all within $600 of each other. So right around 44 to 45.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I mean, solid. Pretty happy with those. Yeah, we outperformed every month from 2021 except for 2, I think. So
My best
October
was
was a weird one for us. I don't know what happened this year in October, but it was slow. Yeah, October was super slow for us this year. In comparison, I mean, it was like $7,000 lower than 21.
wow.
But we had, I mean, I think we had a little bit more catering in 21 in October. So I was trying to find my 21 calendar book. And I know everybody, I should be just using Google calendars or whatever, but I like having a paper calendar.
Well, they make the one that folds too, like a planner, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what yeah, it's a book. My weekly,
My-
monthly planner.
My best month was September by like $2,000, $1,500.
Isn't it interesting that you would think it would be more summer than
Well,
heart of summer?
June was a close second. Like I said, it was about $1,500 off, but in September, so we have a farmer's, or not really a farmer's market, but an orchard called Meckley's Flavor Fruit Farms that we're able to pick up. They open up in September to basically they're doing 2 rallies instead of just 1 per month. So that was our one. Plus we had a 4-day festival downtown, which was kicked our ass every day. So I could see why that was better, even though I think I worked less or had less days.
Yeah,
But June was popping. I mean, really, really hopping. April was great considering we were just starting out. May was low.
was April your first full-time month?
No, May. I quit my day job in May.
Okay.
So as much as I could say April was probably a full-time month, since I wasn't really doing a whole hell of a lot.
Right.
It was probably pretty close, but what I enjoy is it was probably actually pretty close. April had a good amount of dates too. April was more of me just trying to find places to set up since hadn't really made any contacts with anybody yet. But I think for everything, I think it's good so far. I'm happy. I'm just, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic for next season, just making sure that again, hopefully I wasn't popular because I was the new kid on the block. Hopefully I was popular because it was good food. So I do have a lot of people that are calling me. As I had some person call me last week and say, "Hey, are you going to be open this week?" I'm like, "No, the food truck shut down for a little while." Actually, now that I think about it, the weather's supposed to be somewhat decent this week. I was actually thinking about going out, but
Yeah, our 10-day forecast over here. I think we have 1 day that's below freezing. It's
yeah, I don't think I think we don't have a day below freezing all the way to Sunday. I mean, it's mid 30s.
yeah, I
But
mean it's not warm, but we've already beaten our snow total from last year.
yeah, I saw that.
So we're done.
Did you get rain? Did you guys get rain this weekend?
Not anything's like super substantial. One night it rained pretty much all night, but other than that, it's been drizzly and very spring.
Do you still have snow, or is it gone and in mud?
There are piles still.
Yeah.
I still have a pile in my yard.
There is no snow over here unless you go to a mall or big old parking lot or something like that. Everything's
the guy across the street from me has an airstrip in his field. It's not paved or anything. It's just the walking trail goes right in front of it, and there's still like 4 inches of snow, like a 6 foot wide across and like 40 yards long strip of snow. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. Other than that, anything that was normal snowfall is gone outside of piles. So it's super strange that that's there. It's kind of annoying because we have to walk through it to walk the dogs, but
tomorrow is a 99% chance of rain and 57.
So here's the problem I ran into.
Oh, problems. Okay.
With so we went from a thin layer of frozen ground
Mm-hmm.
the last week I was up. So the week before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
it had been cold enough that the ground was firm at least. In my jack stand, my thingy, sits on a concrete block.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pull it up when we move and stuff. So it was cold enough that everything was sticking to the block. So when I came back Wednesday, it wasn't sitting super level, but it was fine. It held. But then everything started to thaw. And things shifted.
Ooh.
Yeah, it slid right off. I noticed it not yesterday morning, but the morning before. And it was soft enough there that it sunk, the tongues was touching the ground almost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so now it's a get out the jacks and inch it up, slide some blocks under, inch it up a little bit more, slide some blocks under. And then, yeah, it'll just be one of those that it doesn't sit all the way off anymore. That the tongue sits will stay on the
So
concrete.
what are you going to end up doing? So for people who don't know, the side of Josh's house is mud and ruts. So are you going to end up doing like putting pavers down, putting rock down, stone down, or are you just going to leave it to mud and
So the original plan was to do a full second driveway over there. That was before I was informed about a landscape easement on that side of the house that would encroach upon where I wanted to put the second driveway. And that was going to be a full cement paved driveway. So that kind of puts a damper on things a little bit. So yeah, we didn't have grass planted there or anything. We have this whole strip in our yard where the driveway was going to be, but yeah, so there's no grass there. It's clay and mud and awful. So the plan right now, I think, will be to do just do some larger rock there. There is a layer of smaller river rock that was put down last year. So it does firm up, but when we get this much rain and had all that snow melt,
yeah?
it's just going to be a mess. So yeah, we'll get some larger rock in there in the spring, which will suffice. I would love to. I can request and have it approved to use part of the easement for a driveway. We just have to draw it out, and I need to have a concrete guy to come out and actually quote it and everything. But I'm fine with it being stone, and I would do a stone driveway just all the way down.
Yeah.
If that is, I know it'll be more cost effective, but it'll provide the same, and there's a spot for any runoff to drain or anything like that without it pooling on a concrete. So
That's true.
if we have any water leakages or anything like that. So that's kind of where it's at. Yeah, it's right now it's a mess, and I will probably just start parking the trailer in the turnaround, which I did for a little while when we first moved in, when it got super rainy and stuff for a period. So
Yeah. I came home one night and I was super tired and I unhooked the trailer and completely forgot to unhook the chains and pulled away and pulled my trailer right off
off the
the,
block.
yeah.
This is not the first time I've had a trailer slide off the block.
Me neither.
It's never fun getting it back up. It's
Shit. My first event ever. I didn't chalk I was on a hill and I put levelers down, but I didn't chalk the wheels before I let my thing go. And it went right in there. Luckily, nice people brought a jack over, big old jack over, and I was able to fix it or get it off. But
yeah,
it was not pleasant. Definitely looked like a rookie that time.
yeah, it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
We should do a blooper episode. what's the really shitty things that have happened to you in your career? Like, I don't know if we'd have enough time for that.
It'd have to be like an 8-parter. For those that saw the last episode, I did put it up in 2 parts. It wasn't an overly long episode, but I'm gonna try to do them between a half hour and 45-minute sections. So you'll probably see more 2-part episodes on the weekly. So let me know how that format works for everybody. I'm sure it's easier to listen that way.
If we just learn to shut up.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to talk about, and especially when we're actually working, it's by the time we get done with our weeks, we're 40 minutes in. So
I tell you how much money I sent the Superstore this year.
That's why I don't break it down like that. I got to talk to you about something too.
I was trying to fill you're pointing at me, fill slots, things that I was going through my bank. So we talked about this in the very beginning, my banking. So I use Square for my POS, but I also use it as my business bank account. So anything that and then I go to the store and buy online or whatever the case may be, comes off the Square account. It just, for me, it makes my life easier because I can just statements are right there, reports are right there. Everything's there that I can just, go look at. So I downloaded basically each bank statement up until December, because December wasn't open. And it just works that it's for the whole month. It's not like it doesn't split months. It doesn't, I don't have to wait for another bank statement that comes through on the 15th of the month. So for me, it works because I'm a novice at all this stuff. But 6% of my expenses this year was Superstore. 6%. Mark, Rich, 6%. We need to renegotiate.
Just remember, you are still very much a small fish.
I know.
They were telling me they got a guy out there that goes through 2 pallets of sauce a year. Yeah.
Well, shit, you went through. You went through one, didn't you?
No, it was more than a year.
Oh.
So I need to talk to you about that, by the way, after we're done here.
Oh.
I have a proposition.
Oh boy.
So.
Okay. Turn your mic up, by the way. I can barely hear you.
Oh, I'm sitting a little ways away from it too. Is that better?
I didn't say move your face closer.
Is that better?
Okay, sex voice.
Voice. I don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck are you doing?
I had my camera in the way of my microphone options.
Shut up.
If you're not watching the YouTube channel, I mean, if you just need to laugh, watch the YouTube channel, because he's just going.
Just doing a little bobbing and weaving. I'm trying to get my chair aerobics in.
Oh boy.
New year, new me.
Now, new year, same old me.
There's nothing wrong with that, Skippy. I love the same old you.
Oh boy, my wife hates it. Anyway, so as we're, I need to tell a story, and it's not a barbecue related story. It's just a funny story.
I'm not sure which way I'm turning my mic. Is this any better or worse?
From where you were just a minute ago, it's worse.
How about now? Is that better?
That's better.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, that's normal. So,
all right, continue with your story, sir.
So just a funny story, and it's not barbecue related. I'm sorry, but it's just funny, and we will use this term probably for the rest of our lives. We finished the renovation on our house after 2 years finally, and we put a pantry closet in the main bathroom. And my wife decided she was taking a shower, but she needed a new loofah. The loofah disintegrated. Mm-hmm. So she's saying, "Hey, Perk, come here. I need a loofah." So I walk in the bathroom and she's like, "It's in the cabinet. Cabinet's got 2 doors." So I open both doors. Don't see anything. Nothing there. I said, "Honey, I'm blind." She's like, "Close the right door. It's in the left door." I'm like, "Honey, it's not here. Like, I got to be blind." So she opens the door and she sees the loofah. No, yes, it was right there. She sees a loofah on a little shelf behind the toilet. So now, and if there's any type of dissension in the ranks or active stupidity, now we call each other effing loofah. So if you're ever around me and I call my wife a loofah, you know why. Sorry, I had to tell that story because I think it was funny.
Something I have been meaning. So you forced me into a Facebook group.
Oh yeah,
truck,
I believe
what is it? Food truck training.
Food truck training. I believe I forced you. I politely invited you.
Well, you tagged me in something. The only way I could see it was by joining the group. So
true.
Appreciate it.
It's polite enough.
Which has now been like 60% of my Facebook feed since I've been on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that post the same shit over and over again. They don't listen.
So those that are starting and you want another source, it is a good source. It looks like a very helpful community, food truck training. But anyways, I learned something.
Okay.
About Square that I was not aware of. And I had been resistant to change my pricings to this model. So we do sales tax. Our prices on our menu do not include tax currently. So it's a $14 item. They come up to the register and now it's $14.84 for the total. I was asked years ago, why don't you just include tax in your prices? I said, well, I don't want to have to do the math on the back end. I don't want to have to do the math on the back end of figuring out how much sales tax was charged. It just made my head hurt, and I didn't want the extra step or extra labor. Apparently, there's an option in Square that allows you to do it, and they do the math for you. Did you know that? I did not know that.
I have
no
my
idea.
menu price set similar to yours. And you can either add tax to each item
Mhm.
or you can add tax at the end.
Yeah.
Which one did you do?
So it was all a tax at the end. So yeah, it's a separate line on the receipt that says tax, and
Yeah. So you can add tax to each item, or those are the two options that I saw.
so it's hold on, let me get there. So why does this look different than it did yesterday?
Now finding it is the tough part. No, seriously. Because I found it once and I was trying to go back to find it.
I found it so easy yesterday. Like I hit one button and it was right there. I was like, oh sweet, there it is. Hold on, everybody. Sorry, could have been more prepared. All right, so under items and then sales tax, and then it says it has moved with a button. So I don't think that's the right spot. So it takes you to your tax rates. So I have Michigan sales tax in there, and I can click on that, and it says tax application. So you can apply tax to all taxable items. So that'll do it to everyone. You don't get to, so when you create a new menu item, it would add tax to it automatically.
Yep.
Or you can do select items, which is the way I do it, because you don't charge sales tax on pop and water.
Pop, water, whatever. Yeah.
The bag of chips, or if you guys, yeah. So that kind of, anything that was pre-prepared, you don't charge sales tax on. So that's the way I have mine set up. And then if you go down to the bottom of that page, there's tax calculation. And it says include tax in item price, which my option was off.
Mm-hmm.
So if tax is included, the tax will appear in your reports, but your customers will not see the tax on the receipt. So if I select that and I hit $14, they're going to pay $14 when they come up to that thing, not $14.84. And then Square does the math on the back end to take the 6%. They figure out what the item cost was supposed to be to get it to $14.
Oh, all right.
You got what I'm saying?
You're doing it differently. Okay.
I wasn't. I'm going
No.
to.
You're doing it differently than what I even, I guess, how. So when I thought about that is I still thought when you ring it up, it's still going to be that.
So you're
not that
dealing in
dollar.
pennies and nickels and dimes, just like I was.
Yes.
This lets you get out of it. So now
Yeah,
you
but
can
it-
change your prices to round up. So you can go to, instead of 14, you're going to charge $15. And that's just going to be the cost that they pay when they walk up, and then Square's going to take the tax out of the back end.
Okay.
So
So
now
does
you
that
can,
mean
now
you
you
have
can get
to
rid of the
set-
pennies, the nickels, the dimes. So
Yeah,
we'll still have items, I think, at 50 cents or 25 cents past the dollar. Maybe, I'm not sure yet. But then we're still only dealing with quarters, and quarters are easy. So, but yeah, I had no idea that was an option. I don't know if it was an option that was added in at some point in time, or if I just
Huh.
never saw it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to making those adjustments. And we've had people grumble about change before. So,
I hate change.
well, as far as tips go,
Yeah, I don't mind.
you
that.
hand somebody 90 cents in change, and most of it's going back, and 9 times out of 10, it's going in the tip jar.
Yeah.
And that's what I always do when I get change at a place that accepts tips. I don't want it. I want it in my pocket. So it'll be interesting if that affects how the tipping goes going forward. Or do I set my prices so that everything is at like $11 or $21? So that way they're getting back 4 singles.
true. Yes, yes, I do that somewhat. Yeah. So my buddy was like, I want to know what it takes to come up there and spend $20. I'm like, a sandwich and a side. That'll do it. Or, if I charge $9 for a pulled pork sandwich, they give me a 10, chances are I get the dollar back.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I thought about that.
To sidestep all the comments that if I shouldn't count on tips as part of income, and that the prices should just be raised, I don't accept tips. Me, I don't. My staff does.
Yeah.
And they are paid well enough without the tips. But yes, it's a nice subsidy.
It's also a nice thank you.
It is. And those guys are working their asses off in elements. And I know Chris, I think averaged about 13 an hour in tips, doing lunch and dinner. Pam, who only did lunches and some weekends and stuff, averaged $20 an hour in tips.
So going back to sales tax, I found it on the Square app, or the website.
Mhm.
So under tax calculation, it says include tax and item price.
Yep.
That's what you're referring to?
Yep. So if you slide that to on,
Yeah.
whatever your item price is what the customer will end up paying, not that plus 6%.
And then you're going to go back and basically up
And
it.
go back and adjust all the prices up so that I'm not eating the 6%.
I gotcha. Yeah, because that's what I did this year, was eat the 6%.
Okay. Oof. Ouch.
I mean, I don't like change.
Well, okay. But yeah, so yeah, you won't have to deal with it. So
Please hold. Hold on, Kelly. Hold on. I know. Go ahead.